another episode of hashtag I'm Just Saying. I'm yours truly, MemeMichelle. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I want you to get involved. I want you to ask questions. I want you to leave your comments. I want you to use your emojis. Give me 1 second because Curtis Larry is calling in right now.
He's so special. Guys, Curtis Larry, very special.
Yes, sir. Curtis.
He's so special.
Curtis.
I better be able to smell barbecue through the screen.
Curtis. Okay, so he'll get it together. So we're going to get involved. We're going to ask questions, leave your comments. I want you to just get ready because these guys are crazy. These are the Alief legends. I couldn't even sleep last night. I was so excited about the show. And boom, here we are. So before we get started, we're going to talk about our cocktails for conversation. Salim, what you drinking?
Okay, before I ask, did you cut me off of my video on Facebook like I posted that? Did you cut me? Was that for me?
No, I didn't do anything. What are you talking about?
Oh, we were about to have a different kind of Zoom, or I'm just saying conversation today.
You drink.
So what am I drinking? Okay, wait.
Conversation.
What's the what?
What is your cocktail for conversation?
My cocktail. Okay, can you go to Corey? Then I'm gonna go get a cocktail.
Oh God. Dealing with your own when you're dealing with family. That's why I got my Alief t-shirt on today. Because I know it's gonna be a mess.
Well, today I'm gonna do okay, my cocktail today.
Yes.
I'm gonna go black. I'm doing grape soda.
Hey Corey, what's your cocktail for conversation? And what is that, bro?
H20, nigga. H20.
Well, see, I knew it was gonna be cool. So I made me what's called the game changer. So as you guys know, my favorite drink is the sidecar. So you take when you make a sidecar, you do one ounce of cognac, 1 ounce orange liqueur, and a 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. You shake it. Some people like it stirred. I like mine shaked. And then I put that in the glass, but I added a 1/2 ounce lemon juice. But
you gonna get you one of them.
I added a ounce of amaretto.
That sounds delicious.
Yolanda say, make her one. She on the way.
And I had to work today. Hey, Yolanda. I had to work today, so we had to pull out Marilyn Monroe today because I didn't have time to do my hair.
I see you looking like you're looking like that little white chick.
Pull out Marilyn Monroe.
Wait, what do you mean pull out? Pull out of what?
I had to pull out Marilyn. So
pull out that way. Okay.
We're gonna say, Curtis, we love you, we miss you, we hope you can get on. But if you can't get on, we're gonna have to keep this party going. So Corey.
Yo.
It's been this now, Corey doing the show in his car. I don't know how he gonna focus. But anyway, that ain't none of my business.
Hey, baby, driving. I'm gonna stay focused. I got this shit.
All right. So there has always been this big debate about Hastings and Elsick, but since both of y'all are from Elsick, I'm not gonna even ask that question because I'm Bears all. But if you had to choose between Salim and Curtis Larry,
God damn it, Curtis! Come on, Corey.
Who's the best athlete?
God damn it!
How you gonna put me in that? You know what I mean? That's very biased. You know, because Salim is my classmate, and Curtis was an upperclassman, and like he was like a dick, cause he came back to campus like with his college shit on, like I'm the man walking through the hallway, and of course I felt like my running back, like T.O. say, my quarterback, my running back, which was Mr. Muhammad,
that's my motherfucking
on their ass. Salim set school records
for
a district. Then Curtis Larry was in with harder competition. I mean, I could be a little biased, you know. Maybe
that's coming from the heart of Alief right there, baby. The heart of Alief.
Okay, so since
I'm just saying,
he got a bad signal. So
if I would give, one second. If I would give Curtis Larry He was the first of a slew of running backs that came through that thing that did that damn thing.
That's what I wish
he set that tone. He set that tone that if you was gonna be a back in Alief at LC, and you had to come on with it. And when that boy Lionel came, which y'all might not know, trained Lionel Williams, he came through that thing and done his damn thing. But when Salim came through, that shit was like the first day of practice. We ain't never seen no black gazelle before.
Okay.
No shit, nigga. We ain't never seen a black gazelle, baby. I'm talking about this boy came through the hole and he hit a move where he tipped both his feet, tapped like hopscotch, bow, and he took off. And Coach Seaver said, "God damn."
We got us a running back.
So, Salim, let me ask you a question. Curtis was upperclassman. He was before us.
Yeah, he was an upperclassman. He was a dick.
You and Corey, who was the biggest flirt?
Say it again.
Out of you and Corey, who was the biggest flirt?
What the heck? I'm gonna say Corey. What is wife right there?
Damn,
what is wife right there?
Okay.
The reason why Corey was
Corey's wife in the car, and she's.
It don't matter.
I already know these. Mimi, come on now.
Hey, it don't matter because
he did it.
It don't matter because we're locked at the hip, man. That's my bestie. Let it run, Salim, so she can see what she working with.
Let me ask. I'm gonna ask each of you a serious question, and I pray that Curtis can get on. As an athlete, who inspired you as an athlete? Corey, you go first.
I was in love with Howie Long.
Okay, who is Howie Long?
Howie Long was a defensive lineman that played for the Raiders.
Okay.
And he's also a sports analyst on Fox right now for the NFL Hall of Famer. But I kind of wanted to be like this guy, At that time, color and all of that shit didn't matter. I mean, we were young. I didn't even know that the dude was white. You dig what I'm saying? I just knew that everything that he was bringing to the field, that he was something that I enjoyed looking at.
And Curtis, Salim, I'm gonna ask you the same question. Who inspired you as an athlete and why?
Well, the way that we grew up, which was we didn't have a lot of money. The obvious answer would be a superstar like a Walter Payton or those guys, right?
Yes.
But I got to be very, very, very honest with you guys, because if it had not been for the brothers that I have, right, they inspired me more than the superstars, because they're right in my face. And it was when you go home and you talk about what you did, they will come back with what they did, and you're like, damn it, man. And then you watch him play, and then you're like, you know what, I got to do that. And then so I would try to mimic, and I'm sure they'll say the same thing. They'll try to mimic what I did, or I'll mimic what I saw my brothers do. Yeah, they were younger, but I didn't get the opportunity of being able to go to NFL games or even college games. So the closest person, the people that I could admire was my actual brothers, because they were very good at what they did. So I'm gonna have to say my brothers.
So this is my next question. We're talking about, I'm gonna start off with what I ended with last week, right? So we're talking about the Roy Jones Mike Tyson fight.
Right.
Okay. I want the audience to know that
something that I always admired that you had, Silent. You had a house full of brothers.
Yeah.
So, how are y'all feeling about this Mike Tyson, Roy Jones fight?
Say it one more time, Mimi, your phone broke up.
No, you breaking up, bro. So, are you here for the Mike Tyson, Roy Jones fight? Are you watching? How you feel about it? What you think it's gonna be?
You gonna go with Corey first?
Corey froze, so you're gonna have to go, Salim.
So I gotta say that I'm gonna love this fight. Unfortunately, I don't feel that it's going to be a really good fight because there's no one, hands down, there's no one that's going to be able to compete with a Mike Tyson. I don't give a shit how old or young you are. The dude hits too hard. And I'm a big Roy Jones fan. I really hate that. I remember so vividly the day that Roy Jones lost that fight. And I was so heartbroken for a very, very long time. But it wasn't any comparison to Mike Tyson and seeing him. So I have to say that, Mike Tyson, he's gonna, it's gonna be a good fight, I hope. But Mike Tyson, it's gonna be a disadvantage to Roy.
What you think, Corey? You need to get signal.
He telling you what he thinks don't happen. I'm telling you what I hope don't happen. Oh, Roy Jones don't catch that boy with a phantom punch, and down goes Frazier.
Ooh, that would be.
I don't want to see Tyson ever hit the mat again. I'm just biased like that. That's not something that I want to see. I don't want to see that.
No, I don't either.
That's not something that I want to see.
I want to see the fight. I mean, just out of curiosity, but I think they should both learn from Muhammad Ali. I mean, that one fight too many took Muhammad Ali over.
Yeah, that's what I feel about Roy, man. Because Mike Tyson's still hitting hard, and so I love Roy so much to the point where I don't even want to see that fight like that. Because I love both of those brothers. And I hate for one of them to get hurt because of an exhibition fight like this. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay, and you know that both of them are alpha males, right? So even though it's an exhibition, it's gonna be testosterone pumping. It's gonna be some like, hold on, wait a minute. Two bulls. That's what it's gonna be real. I don't think it's gonna be nothing fake about it.
No, I think it's gonna be real. I just think it's gonna be woo-wee. I'm gonna be like this the whole time. I'm gonna have my popcorn, but I'm gonna be like this the whole time.
Yeah.
So if you had to choose, all right, here we go, fellas. Let's get to it. So if you had to choose between, and these athletes to me are kind of in the same, lane. If you had to choose between Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders, who is your choice?
Man.
Oh, what? Prime time. Prime time, baby.
Right. So you talking about two different kind of people, right? So you got the outgoing highlight kind of guy, and then you got the low. And so I'm on that side. I'm on that side of, I want to show you and show you how I am and show you who I'm going to be and then talk shit about it. Whereas my brother could be exactly what Bo Jackson is, real humble and quiet, and then he let his work speak for him. I'm the complete opposite. I'm gonna lean on Deion all day.
All day. We from the dub, Mimi. We from Alief. We flashy. That's
who is that coming in? Who is that coming in?
Who is that?
I can't see. Introduce yourself.
It says connecting to audio.
I can't see. You got to bring your camera down some. We can't.
Unmute.
Unmute yourself.
Take your glasses off. Take your hat off.
So Curtis, once you get your volume together, we got to go back to the top because they've been, you ain't been winning in this game.
Ooh.
Unmute yourself.
Keep them muted. We'll just watch it. Curtis, I'm gonna need you to upgrade your internet, buddy.
We can't see your face. None of that.
Hey man, you need to clean your screen too, man. Put some spit on your shirt.
You need to get off that government internet.
Studio audience, I'm so sorry we're having these technical difficulties.
Yeah. man.
Go to the next question, and when Curtis Larry get together, we're gonna let them jump in on in because I want him to talk about comparing himself to Salim Muhammad.
Oh man.
I chose Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders for these reasons because they both played multiple sports and they both worked really, really hard. I know Deion Sanders was more Showtime. Bo was just Bo knows. You know, Bo was on everything. Bo was on all the commercials. It was just a different era. I think they changed the game of football when they came as far as like sponsorship and promoting it. The game of football changed when they came out. Like the refrigerator. That's when, you know, you think about it, the Bears, we are the Bears, shuffling crew, shuffling on down. I mean, I hated that song, but it really changed the game of football. So,
well, you know, in our time, our Bo Jackson or Deion Sanders was a Vincent Moore, because I felt like that guy could play pretty much anything, and he did. He played any and everything, and so he was that Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders guy, you know, for us, you know.
So let me ask you this. Let's switch to basketball. We're going to switch to basketball, my favorite sport. Out of Larry Bird, because this is the versus episode pretty much. Out of Larry Bird and Reggie Miller, who do you think was the best three-point shooter?
Bird.
All day, every day.
Bird with them little bit ass shorts on, looking like he was on running in mud, slow ass, but would shoot your lights out with no problem.
I think I like Larry Bird because he was always on. I mean, Reggie Miller would get into like a zone and be on. Oh, somebody say, I'm sorry, big bro, to you, Corey. We finna get into that, Africa. We finna get into that. But I think Larry Bird was consistent. Salim, what do you think? Curtis still trying to...
So it's hard for me to pick a white.
What they sorry about?
And I really apologize. I don't think that I'm not. It's hard for me to pick a white athlete over a black athlete. It's really hard for me to do so. But if I got to be honest with myself, and you ask me who am I going to pick, I probably would pick Reggie Miller just because he's black. But then in my back of my mind, I'm like, shit, I do want to pick Larry Bird though, you know. And so I'll always have to go black before I go white, you know.
My thing is, I don't care if you Manurple, your game got to be right.
Yeah.
Larry Bird, all day, every day, whenever he did like the All-Star games, he never missed, he never failed. He always came through in the clutch. And if he wouldn't have had back problems, he probably would have had a longer career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he showed up and showed out.
He is on the Mount. I say he's on the Mount Rushmore of basketball, bro. It's like Reggie is a Hall of Fame player, no doubt. But Larry, like what if it was if you picking like the top five white dudes in the NBA, Larry Bird is unanimous number one. It's like no. Right. So when you look at the top, you look at the top 10 or the top 20, Larry Bird is in there. But if you look at up until Stephen Curry came, who fade Larry Bird on that 3-pointer? Who you want taking that shot at the end of the game?
Okay, let me ask this question. This question is not on the list. Do you think, because like I asked you guys in the beginning, who inspired you? Who you wanted to be like, but do you think athletes of today still look at the athletes of yesterday and give them the props? Like, you know, new rappers really don't pretty much rappers of yesteryear. They old. But do you think that athletes today still admire the athletes that came before them?
I'm gonna have to go with the answer of yes, only because these athletes, if you're talking about the younger athletes, absolutely not. They're gonna a younger athlete is gonna think that they're the best anyways. You know, they're not gonna give too many props of where it came from and how it started. They're not going to do that. This new generation doesn't believe that way. They don't speak or think that way. But if you're talking about our age,
no, I'm talking about the athletes that are playing now.
Oh,
do they give? Think they respect the athletes?
I think they do because they have to. I think they do because, you know, I mean, a lot of them do it. If you speak to them and they talk about, they ask the question, what inspired you? Because that question is asked on a lot of athletes. And the first question the first answer they'll give is someone from back in the day. And right. I want to say, so yes, they, as a whole, I believe that they do give the respect to older players. You know what I mean? So I believe, yes.
And the reason being, my honest opinion on why they do so is because who got all the goddamn records? When you looking to have aspirations of being somebody, you want to be somebody, you want to beat somebody, you want to wear the number one headband like Afro Samurai. And unless you're able to hoist that trophy like some of your greats, that's who you're gonna look up to. I mean, even on an educational level, even on no matter what is Curtis Larry doing?
Curtis ain't in. I mean, we see you, Curtis, but we don't hear nothing you saying.
Thank God.
That dude look like he in a fish tank. I can't see that man. That man's screen all wet.
Thank God. Thank God we don't hear him though, guys. Thank God.
You just should have been on the side of the barbecue pit, bro, just cooking. And just had us looking at you.
Curtis might need to log out and log back in.
Them damn upperclassmen, Meme.
I know, man. How can we get inspired when we deal with these kind of people?
Okay, so I logged him out. We're gonna have Curtis Larry log back in. So I know we have to watch The Last Dance. Do you think Michael Jordan was the best player in the league? Go.
Do I think Michael Jordan was Do I think Michael Jordan is the best player?
What'd you say, Corey?
Hold on, man. Y'all know I'm watching my own drum, man. I ain't watched it yet. The reason why I didn't watch it, yes.
You have to put yourself as an athlete. You have.
Yes, you have, Corey.
Let me see for all y'all that don't know. I, growing up, did not like Jordan.
That's you to watch because I had to. And wait a minute, some of the same things that you believed about Jordan, he put that on Front Street. He was an a-hole. It's a lot that he said that you are gonna say, I told y'all. But if you want to be inspired as a barber, if you want to be inspired to be great in anything, I suggest everybody watch The Last Dance.
Right, me too. Corey, you got to, Corey. I mean, you're gonna pull Corey, Corey, we're gonna pull your athletic card, buddy.
Oh damn.
You can't pull it. Watch it on Netflix. If you don't have whatever it came on, it's on Netflix right now. I suggest anybody watch The Last Dance.
Okay, that's a big T.
Amazing. It's really about the final this final season in the game, but they go back and forth from when he first started to when he was in high school, when he was in college, how they talked about he wasn't a great of an athlete in high school. You know, I already knew that, but they also talked about when his father passed. It was amazing. Come on, Starlene, give me your take on what you think about Michael Jordan after watching.
You know, Michael Jordan, there's no way that I could say anything about bad about Michael Jordan because growing up, I'm almost 50, so Michael Jordan was my era of, of where people were like, I want to be like Mike kind of thing. So Michael Jordan, watching that whole series of Michael Jordan, that just solidified what I believed in how star athletes should be anyways. You know, you should you should try to dig deep in others for them to play their best. And that's exactly what Michael Jordan did. Will Pippen, I mean, we could say Pippen could have done his own thing, but will Pippen have been able to been so good if Michael Jordan hadn't have been so good?
Because he pushed everybody.
Yeah, right.
And the crazy thing is, it made me want to push past my like when I work out. Let's talk about that.
Right.
Push past my natural ability.
Right.
Like if I want, what happened to Corey? if I want to do 2 miles, I'm gonna push for 3. If I want to do 4 miles, I'm gonna push for 5. Watching that made you just want to push past your natural ability.
Yeah.
And you know why he was so great.
Right.
It was like he was so competitive. He was competitive in dice. He was competitive in golf. That's why he gambled so much, because he was win at everything.
You would think, and so the way that he was is exactly how my family was, because we have so many siblings to where it was nothing but competition. And so, and like you mentioned, it gave me that inner drive to want to do just one more. You know, if I'm at 2, 3, 4, 5 miles, I want to do one more mile because I did that mile yesterday. I did 5 miles yesterday. So let me see if I can do 5.5 today. And that's how, you know, I've always went through life. Let me see if I could just push myself one step further. You know what I mean?
Somebody said until he played, Jordan thought he was the best. Until who played Africa? Oh, because he set the bar so high, the one to beat. What did Barkley? So until he played, that pushed Barkley. I think he pushed everybody in the league.
They did.
He pushed everybody.
Yeah, I believe that too.
He pushed because he set the bar. Because before then, I mean, everybody had their era.
Corey,
So,
get your black ass on the screen.
Are you taking off the show? You can't be doing housework and being around.
He's changing his pants in front of us.
Corey,
look, y'all ain't seen that. Y'all ain't seen
everything. You gotta be professional, bro. Hashtag, I'm just saying they just your classmate. So, I loved Magic Johnson. You know, he had his era. I love Dr. J. He had his era. But once Jordan is not my favorite player. To be honest, that was the next question. Name a player other than MJ that changed the game of basketball. Go.
Allen Iverson.
All day, every day. All day.
Allen Iverson, to me, when he came into the league, he was what I identified with. Okay? Because
why? I know why, but why?
Rebel. What you mean? I wasn't the status quo. I didn't want to conform to what anybody else felt was what the idea of an athlete was supposed to look like, sound like, talk like, walk like. When Allen Iverson came into the game, he proved that I can have braids, I can have tattoos, I can speak with a little broken English, and I can still be Hall of Fame caliber, and I can shake Jordan out his damn shoes.
Yeah.
Man, they took shit. You couldn't find that on ESPN. They played that night, and the only time you could find that was 20 years later on YouTube.
Yep.
He shook Jordan out his shoes.
Yep.
So
that was one of the reasons why my feelings, I didn't have those sentiments for Jordan like that, because I knew that the game gave that brother a pass that other athletes didn't have.
I got to give it to you, Corey. You're right. And there's one other guy that I got to throw out there. And it's not because, and he was a star. He was a superstar. But what I'm more focused on when I see stars is where did you come from? You know, what did you do? What did you do that got you here? And I love documentaries. I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to watch Stephon Marbury documentary.
Ooh, I did.
Have y'all?
I haven't seen it.
Yes.
Oh man. Huh?
Put it in the comments so I can look at it.
Okay, so Stephon Marbury if you watch this documentary, that'll change your whole attitude about Stephon Marbury and what he actually went through. And then you'll have a lot more respect. After I was done with that, I was like, wow, man. You know, he was that superstar, Allen Iverson. Well, him and Allen pretty much followed the same
right.
Yeah.
But they made this documentary of him, and it made me respect Stephon a lot more than I do now, or than I did before. You know what I mean?
If you don't know who he is, he's the professional basketball player. Okay.
Somebody said Allen Iverson.
They came out with them
to wear suits on the sideline. I mean, not to wear suits on the sideline. And that's what I was going to say. I like the fact they tried to railroad him even before he went to college. You know, he made it out of that. He really wanted to be a football player. They said he was a better football player than a basketball player. And he was an amazing
quarterback.
So I could just imagine what kind of football player he was. I had the opportunity in my hairstyling career to meet him, and he was one of the best, nicest guys I had ever met. But he changed the game on what you see the league looking like today, as far as tattoos, as far as the jewelry, as far as the swag,
the short, everything.
Yes, he changed the face and the look of the league when it came. More so than Michael Jordan did.
More so than Michael Jordan did.
I think Michael Jordan used the game to push past your ability. I think Allen Iverson, he changed the game as far as the swag and the look and to the normal, natural self. Because a lot of times, there was a rule that you had to wear a suit when you came, if you had to sit on the sidelines, or when you came dressed for the game, when they were in the tunnels, they had to be dressed up. And Allen Iverson changed that. He was able to just be his and be respected being his.
It wasn't just that. They outlawed 3 of this dude's dribbles. They said they outlawed his dribbles. When he came into the game, his fashion, he had baggy shorts, and then he came with some tennis shoes. When Allen Iverson came into the game, they imposed a sleeve rule. That's why you see a lot of the NBA players start wearing long. He really, really, really changed the game of basketball because the white America wasn't ready to see that type of athlete on their television.
I'm an Allen Iverson fan all day, every day. I'm an Iverson. I should have worn my Iverson jersey today, but I just, left it in the closet. So let's get on some serious stuff as we close it out. Due to Corona, everything has changed from church to school as well as sports. So, how do you think it will change the NFL and the NBA because I know sports are coming back and it's going to be a little different. How do you think this pandemic is going to change the face of sports?
Man, I have a lot of brothers and siblings and brother-in-laws who coaches in football. And it's unfortunate that I have to start off there. It's unfortunate that these players nowadays whom are trying to get a scholarship, trying to get to the next level from college to the pros. It's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate that they will not get a real good opportunity to move in that area, man. It's to that next level. And I really feel bad about it. I really feel bad for that. Now, to answer your question, here's the thing. These players, if they can adjust to no stands, then why would we ever need them anyways? You know what I mean? Let's continue doing this and see how much, then the players, if the players are smart, they can make more money and team and owners can make more money just off doing this virtual thing. I don't know, man. Maybe this is a new thing that can be done. I mean, why do we need to go to school? I mean, that's a whole nother subject, you know. If we could do it virtual, then why not? Why not do virtual? But you know, what's crazy is that they actually still charge people to be virtual in the stands. And how's, you know, why the hell would I want to pay to have a virtual screen?
So now the people who normally have tickets are going to have to pay to watch. So what does that do for the person who watches on Thursday or watches on Sunday, like Sunday night football, Sunday football?
Well, I don't know how football is going to play out. I'm wondering how that's going to play out. But as far as basketball, they got these screens out there, you know, sitting in the and so they actually pay for that. You know, it's not a free thing. You can pay for that virtual seat right there.
$100. It's $100.
And it's crazy to pay when I can see the same thing
on TV.
You know, on TV. So I don't know.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this.
Well, hold on, Mimi. Hold on. Let me just piggyback off of what Salim was saying. Okay. The thing with us, we have Doc freshman year going into U of H. Okay, he would have been there in like May. Okay, he just got there a couple of weeks ago. Joker is going into his freshman year. Okay, he has a good possibility of making varsity as well. But like Salim said, you have players that are what we call on the cusp, all right? Be it high school, be it college, be it going into the pros, where their last season may not have been their best season. And usually what happens is the game doesn't care about what disasters the player has had to go through.
Right.
They don't give a damn. They don't care if you were in the best shape of your life going into your senior season and a pandemic happened. They don't care. So how do you? Okay, we're cool.
Deservedly. How do you deservedly get a shot?
Me and my wife, we're cool. We not sitting there waiting for our son to make it so we can get some money. Okay? But it's a lot of parents out there that are dependent, that have spent damn near savings on these kids at these football, baseball, basketball, track and field academies that are hoping and wishing that their kid can get this free education so they can go to the next level of whatever that may be, because sports within itself is just a vehicle to take you to the next opportunity that's there for you. You feel what I'm saying, Celine? So you want the kids to be safe, but I don't want my child to miss out on any opportunity. Okay, who's to say that my son won't go out there and catch a concussion, much less a COVID, or break a leg?
This is unfortunate, man. This is an unfortunate thing, man. And I feel really, really bad for these guys. Really bad for them.
So this is my question, my next question. So as a vocalist, when you sing in front of people, like when I sing in church, I don't really pull the energy from the congregation. I just kind of have a one-on-one with God, right? But when you play sports, there's something magical that happens when the crowd is screaming for your team, and you know the stands are full, and it drives you to play harder. I had Jason Redman on the show last week, and he talked about where that energy came from for him when there were no spectators there. So where do you think the players are gonna get that energy and that drive to compete since there's no one in the stand?
So let me answer that. Let me go first, Corey. You know, it's crazy as you say that. Throughout my whole life of sports, right? Even if it was track, if it was and I played basketball, believe it or not, if it was basketball, especially football, you know, the energy I got was at the very beginning when you're running out of that tunnel. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I got no energy from the fans or the stands at all during the game because I'm so focused. I was on this level of play where my focus was, I heard nothing. My mother would come home and say, "Did you hear me scream?" Mother, I'm sorry. I didn't hear anyone scream. And so I never got my energy from the stands. I got my energy from my teammates more so than anything.
Yes. The line is dead compared to when the sideline is. Now, to a certain degree, that the sideline gets energy from the crowd, okay? And the energy from them, you yelling, your teammates yelling.
We don't hear nothing you're saying because you're moving around too much and you don't have a signal, bro.
And you on government internet.
You gotta put your tail down somewhere and interview. Who do that?
Because I told y'all that I was in the good man. I have 10 children and 11 grandkids. Why do you think I ain't been on this show thus far?
We don't know what you're saying because you're moving around too much.
I'm not moving around right now.
Well, we can't tell because you froze.
Now, what I said was, can you hear me now?
No.
I can hear a little bit.
You must be somewhere where your signal ain't good in the house.
He's in the car now.
Because you can move to 5 different places.
I'm in the car. See? Car. See the presence in the back?
What'd he say, Salim? Because we don't know.
The car, yeah, he's in the car.
That's why it ain't working, bro. That's why it ain't working. You need to be with the strong internet signal. What the?
Let me go back in.
Please.
You ain't gonna be able to get your point across. So you can do your point. When
I think what I heard Corey say is that he to a certain extent I was right, but the people on the sideline got the energy from the people in the stands, which in turn gave the energy to the players. And so I think what Corey, if I'm not mistaken, he was saying that the fans do play a certain role in how well someone does based on the energy they would get from the sideline get it from the fans, right, Corey? That what I heard?
Redmond said when he was on the show, we have like a little after show, and Jason Redmond said he could get crunk in in practice against playing his teammates. Yeah. So it didn't matter who was in the team. So Corey, see if we can hear you now. I see you sitting still.
Okay, look.
There you go.
You gotta sit still, bro.
The energy. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. The energy that I got was like Salim said from your teammate. All that rah-rah shit in the huddle, before the play, so on. The only time that the crowd really did something for me is when you made the big hit or the big play. And that was after the fact. When you hear, ooh.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But you might hear defense or but nah. You gotta be locked in.
We don't hear you, bro.
When you gotta sit still, Corey.
We don't hear you. You have to sit down.
I'm sitting. Look, man, my wife needed me to open the door for her.
Okay, but you on the show, we almost done. We need you to sit down so we can hear you, because when you move, your internet signal gets crappy.
Man, I'm not even supposed to be on internet signal. I have a big thing that says 5G right here on this brand new spectacular phone that ain't worth a damn. We need a sucky phone service.
Let me ask y'all a question. After football was over for you, like you played Little League, you played AAU, you played high school, you played college. When football was done, how did you deal with that?
It was hard for me.
Let me go first since I'm fifth deal.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't deal with it well.
Okay.
My experiences after football took me down a whole different road.
Okay.
I look for that camaraderie in the streets. I look for that teammate shit in the streets.
Okay.
You don't realize that until you get older. Most people go into the job field and they, have a team of employers that they're with and, so forth and so on. And they go into another direction where they're building a team. But me, I went the opposite direction. I moved totally away from sports. I didn't want to see it on TV. I didn't want to talk about it, look at it, because I knew I flushed every attempt that I had of being great on a football field down the toilet, single-handedly by myself, regardless of the situation. And those feelings that I felt, I try very hard to make sure that my kids understand that day will come. That day will come when you hang your cleats, stuff your trunks, your wrestling tights, whatever it is, and how are you prepared to deal with it. And, some people do well. Some people don't. I was one of the ones that didn't do well. It took me a long time to find what I was looking for, realize the very thing that I was missing was that camaraderie, was that brotherhood that was forged in that locker room. Real talk.
So one thing about Corey, right? Man, he's an amazing. I mean, the things that he has done currently, right? It's some amazing shit, right? I don't watch anyone on Facebook. I don't look at anyone on Facebook, but I don't think anyone. I don't watch a whole video of anybody on. But I have to watch Corey because he will take you through a series of whatever, right? And the crazy thing about Corey is that the weird thing about it is that, and he's done a wonderful job with his not only his wife, his kids. He's done a fabulous job, man, and it's amazing that his kids are where they are. I'm not surprised because they put in the work, so they should be, because Corey helped them put the work in. The crazy thing about that is that Corey was a dangerous dude on a football field in high school. He was dangerous. The crazy thing about that is that he didn't believe that. He did so much against it. To where Coach Siebel, we were sitting and watching this prototype looking guy. Imagine Corey, the same size right now, but of course a little leaner. Dangerous, man. He was a dangerous dude, but his mind was not there. Now, to answer the question for me, I had a very hard time adjusting because I went on to some camps, or I went to the Cowboys camps and I did this. I went to another camp and did that. And so I was under the impression that I was so good enough to be on a team. And when the time came to where I was done, oh man, it was the hardest thing I could ever do. But it was quickly forgotten because my focus then began to follow Alief and follow my other brothers and how they were doing. And so I adjusted pretty well. The stupid thing is I played flag football all the way up until I was 45 years old. And so I couldn't get that shit out of my goddamn system. I'm still running, trying to catch a damn ball. I quit my final game at 45, almost 46. And why I quit is I caught the ball and this big heavy set guy caught me and pulled my flag. And I was like, man, I'm done. And then I hung up my cleats. That's when I hung up my cleats at that time. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember talking to Corey when he went to college. Me and Corey have been more like brother and sister since age 15. We have a story, and that's a totally different episode. But he has been my little big brother since we were 15 years old. And I remember when he went off to college and he thought he was so big and he thought he was so great. And he got into the locker room and they was like, "What's up, little man?" And he was like, "Them cornbread fed dudes was huge." Right. He was like, "Mimi, I ain't never seen no white boy that big in all my life." And it's like everybody has this, like I've been singing and I used to rap, but I've been, you know, my whole family sings on both sides, right? So when you, and I was in a little singing group, and you think you're going to be this big star when you grow up, and then reality hits and life hits. And so you think you're going to be this NFL star. We know it's all politics. So we talk about how y'all handled that once the career was over. But this is my question to you. What advice do you give this young boy or girl? Because now you got the WNBA, and that's another episode too, because I feel like women are cheated in the league. You know, you got the WNBA and you got the NBA, and the WNBA, they don't even get half of what the NBA gets.
That's really unfortunate too.
It is really unfortunate because they're great. Because if you think about Reggie Miller's sister, she was a much better athlete than her brother.
Yeah,
but that's a whole nother show. But what advice would you give this young boy or girl who's coming out of high school, they're going into college, and after college, their dreams are not met, that their aspirations that they have, they try to will it in their mind that they're going to go to the next level, especially with the way the pandemic is right now. It really kind of levels the playing field of if you're going to go to the league or not. You know what I'm saying? So what advice would you give them if that part of life does not work?
You know, in this new generation, they feel entitled and they feel like they don't have to put in the work to go to the next level. And this is take Corey and how he handled his kid out of it. Because that generation, he's bringing that old generation to his kids now. But this new generation feels so entitled to where, you know, a bigger percentage isn't going to go because they don't have the determination and the drive to get there. And so what I have to say to these guys is, hey, look, you got to look at yourself. Did you put in the work that's necessary for you to go to that next level? If you didn't, then you better hit those books because books is gonna be first anyways.
Absolutely.
So, you know, my advice to them would be, you know, all our goals is to go to the league, going through school. That's all of our goal, and it's hard to see anything else. And so I would try to get them to believe that, you know, hey, look, focus, try to find something else as well as football. How you deliver that can help out, because you can't say to this new generation, you better have a second an option, because if you have a second option, then that means you're gonna forget about your first option, which is trying to get in the league. And so you got to be really careful how you deliver this kind of information to this generation. But you know, I don't really have an answer to it. I don't know. I can't answer that.
Well, Corey, what advice would you give a young boy or girl who is coming out of college, who tries to go to the league and it just don't work out for them? What advice would you give?
What I tell them is, I would tell them, I'm dealing with that now. Okay. Shut up. Our son Wonka played for TLU. He did 3 years and playing through high school. He had some good accolades. He went on and did the stuff at the state with wrestling, and he got into college. He started balling, and then one day he came home. He was like, you know, Pops, I'm not gonna get any taller. I'm not gonna I don't think I'm gonna make it into the league. And I'm like, well, damn, I really did want to see you play your senior year, so forth and so on. And he was like, but it's going to be a waste of time. I think that I should really focus on my academics. So being a father, of course, you huffed up with pride. You want to see what you want to see. But I had to sit down and I had to talk with him, you know, because I knew what he was going through. And I say, look, man, the same feeling that you felt with your brothers on the football field, you can feel that feeling again, but in different areas. The same way that you got out there and you worked hard in that sun or in that rain or in that cold, you can do the same thing in your profession.
Right.
That's right.
It doesn't stop. It's just that vehicle, which was football, took you to this point. You trade those keys in for another set of keys. And then you jump in that vehicle and take that thing as far as it can take. And that's just the advice that I've given him. You know, I gave that advice to Waylon, but Waylon went on to doggone do the rugby thing. And then Malik, he started playing football. Now he racing cars. So it's the same thing. You know, Chi-Chi with the wrestling. It's the same thing. If your dream is to have wealth or success,
it doesn't have to come from a sport.
Don't frame it into this is the only way you're going to get it. Let that be the big picture, the success part, right? But get it however you're going to get it. You might have to change a couple of vehicles in the process.
Absolutely. Now, I got 2 more questions before we wrap it up. Playing organized sports, what did that do for you in any career that you chose? Because I know that playing organized sports aids you in other ways in life. So playing organized sports, how did that help you in the careers or in the life that you have now?
What I was saying is that the things that I got from the locker room, you can't get in regular places in life. And being an athlete in this country is like a rite of passage, okay? Can you hear me? I damn near can't have a conversation with another male that hasn't played sports.
Right.
Like, we have nothing in common if you didn't want to step out there and be a gladiator.
Yeah.
If you didn't want to be a warrior, you want to get down what sport it is. What you mean you didn't play sport? And that's something that it did for me, that same drive, that same energy, I give it to my kids, and hopefully they'll take that same drive and that energy and give it to their kids. And that's what I learned in the locker room.
What did sports teach you, Salim?
You know, what sports taught me is to, and I carried it throughout my whole entire life, is to figure out how to be a winner. And what it taught me is even if you're losing, you figure a way to win. And so what it taught me, and I carried that throughout. I mean, I don't care what business or company I work for, I've always excelled to the top because, you know, I was so used to getting the attention that I was getting when I was playing football. And when it was finally over, I was lost a little bit. And so I like Corey mentioned, you switch it to something else. And you take what you learned and went through school and the experiences you got out of that, and just move it to whatever company you're building, whatever company you're creating, and or company that you're working for. And so I put my all in my business and what I do. And so what it taught me is to figure out how to win and how to be able to survive.
It made you competitive in every area of life.
Every area, right? Exactly. And you can't catch Salim being sleepy at 3 a.m. because he's gonna be the same person at 3 a.m. as he is at 3 p.m. And so and that's just how I was always taught, to just figure a way to be successful, to win. You know, I don't know. That's
now we're gonna wrap it up with this. You know, we've been kneeling for some time now. And the reason I've been having a lot of men on my show here lately is because to me, it's not just about Black Lives Matter. Black men matter to me. Their lives matter to me. And Kaepernick took that knee because of what's going on in the world right now, what's going on in America right now. And now that sports is about to start back up again, do you think it's time to just get rid of the national anthem and replace it with something else? Because, you know, we got people, even, oh God, I can't think of his name. I should have wrote it down. But it's so many people that are against us not putting our hand across our chest for the national anthem when they don't know the second stanza, when they don't know what that means, when they don't know what that red on the flag stands for. What song, if they want to continue to do something before each game, what song would you replace the national anthem with?
A song that I would replace the national anthem?
Or would you just not have anything and then just go into playing?
I don't. You can't ask a guy like me because I'm going straight rap and too short. But you know, I enjoy what they're doing. I like them kneeling the way that they're kneeling. I wanted to really go somewhere further than that, you know. And
yes,
it's good and dandy that we're doing all that, and I love the fact that, you know, everyone is partaking and participating in that. I love that. But you know, are we going to still see the same shit we've been seeing? You know, but now that is highlighted,
right.
I mean, can we do something else? Can we make a bigger change now that we're kneeling and doing it? As far as changing the national anthem, yeah, of course, it gotta change. You know, you can't continue to do that shit. You know, do I want to change it to someone who's black singing it in a black song? I don't believe in that neither. It gotta
Because
be.
I think we should change it to lift every voice and sing, because what lift every voice and sing stands for, it affected the United States as a whole. And if you want to show love, then let's go to a song that benefits everyone. If you're gonna sing something, lift every voice and sing. I ain't gonna sing on the show today because I know the song. I
Man,
know it word for word.
sing, oh beautiful.
And,
Oh, precious
and
God.
that's a good song too. But let's get rid of the
And
national
ever
anthem.
wave the brain. That's the song.
So okay, so you like oh beautiful, I'm lift every voice and sing. You say too short.
Yeah.
Once I say too short.
But thank you guys so much. I'm glad you guys were able to get on
Okay, oh,
today. I hope.
let me say one thing, Mimi.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Okay. First of all, I want to apologize to your audience. I have been moving around a whole lot, but I told my big head ass sister that I was going to be moving around.
Didn't
I
tell her
really
that, but it's okay.
let me say what I want to say. I enjoy doing the show, but I promise that I'm gonna come back and do the show the righteous way. I'm gonna give her my unadulterated attention, and I mean that. I said unadulterated. Yeah, my wife says she seconds that. And number two, piggybacking off of that statement, I've been posting a lot of things on my page about the Black Lives Matter movement, hell, the KKK, pro-Trump, anti-Trump. I post whatever because I like different people's views. And one of my classmates, Marlon Lowe, has something to say about the Black Lives Matter movement, the originator, where it comes from, the purpose of behind it. And I made this statement like this, okay? They even use poisonous snakes for medicine. Sometimes we can't get caught up in who's delivering the damn message.
That's right.
Where it came from. Because let the rest of the world tell it, America is a ragtag bunch of criminals, thieves, individuals that was kicked out of Europe. And now we become so-called the greatest country on earth. So
we used to be.
What the purpose was intended for. What do we utilize it for?
What do we do now? Exactly.
The movement is all that matters. Because if they can take a snake and make some good out of a snake, hell, we can take a movement that was meant to make us look bad, make us look good.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Salim. I'm sorry.
And for me, my last thing that I want to say, and I know we're ending this, is that I need everyone to really believe in how being safe, and this stuff is not fake. You know, my mother and my dad are going through it right now. One is in ICU and the other one isn't.
Because somebody just asked, why does Salim have on a mask? And that's what I was getting ready to say.
Okay, so I'm gonna answer that question. There's multiple reasons why I do have a mask on. So one, I am over here taking care of my mother, so I'm gonna be safe. Although I did test myself and I came up negative. Right. So I'm gonna continue to be safe. That's no, and I want everyone to be safe. And two, growing up, I've always wanted to have a beard and a goatee and hair, and I was never able to grow it. So I figured, I can use this opportunity to grow my hair out and try to figure out, can it work? And so with that being said, it can look terrible, right? Because no one knows, because I got a mask on. You gotta wear a mask everywhere you go. So the other reason is that because I'm trying to grow my shit out, and you know, I'm in this stage of, you know, trash and bum like stuff. So you know, that's why. But I want you to be safe though.
You got the scruffy. Corey got the Dr. Fu Man shoe.
Right. I got the Fu Man.
But I want to say this before we close out. You know, a lot of people say that COVID is not real. A lot of people say that it's all about politics. But whether it is or whether it's not, you know, me and my mother, my sister, my nephew, and his child's mother, we all went and got tested. And my nephew and his girlfriend came back positive. And they stayed positive for a very long time. And they had to be without their daughter for like 6 weeks. Yeah. And that was very hard. And JJ said that he was very, very sick. And now it didn't affect his girlfriend like it affected him, but he was very, very sick. And I have a mother that's a 2-time cancer survivor. So I go to work, I make sure I protect myself. Do I wear a mask in my suite all day? No, but I only have one person in my room and I tested negative. But I try to be responsible for these reasons. It may not affect me like it affects your dad, right? But if I get like, the sniffles, but then I get somebody like one of my clients who's a little older, who has underlying conditions, then I pass it on to them and they die. You know, my mother has been without work for over a month, not because she got sick, but because people at her job got sick and she can't afford to get sick. So she's been at home and the patients are dying daily at her job. You understand what I'm saying? So my responsibility to everybody who sits in my chair is to protect myself so I don't hurt anybody that's not as strong as me. I work out every day. I try, and that's another reason why I'm trying to get my life in order and trying to get my health together, because I don't want to be that girl that if I do get COVID, it takes me out.
Right.
My prayer is that everyone that is affected, this has just been a lot. COVID has been a lot. So let's care for ourselves and in turn care for one another.
Right.
Lord, I just thank you guys so much for coming in on today. I hope this show blessed you. I hope you had a good time. I know we joke about Hastings versus Elsig, but the truth of the matter is we are family and we are one. And we're very competitive with each other, but you can't say nobody. We said amongst each other, we were together before there was Taylor, before there were other high schools. But we love each other at Alief. It made us who we were. And just find something in your life that you can be proud of.
Yeah.
These are two of the best athletes that I have ever seen in my life. I have never, and they didn't go to the league. And the whole purpose of the show was to talk about great athletes, but every athlete does not go to the league. So find something in life that brings you pleasure. Because if it was left up to me, I wouldn't have never did hair. I'd have been a singer and a rapper and I'd have toured the world. That wasn't for me. That was for my sister. But anyway, I love you guys. Remember to laugh.
I got one.
Y'all stay right there.
I got
what you got to say?
Go ahead. Corey, how the hell does Corey have hair 1 month and none the following month? Can you figure out how to put some hair on some of my face?
Mimi pull them old pictures out, man, and
I do. How does that work?
Hey, I think I might be the only Aliefian with my original hairline. Now we could do a show on that. I'm a win.
You so dumb. You so dumb. Y'all stay right there. Remember to laugh. Remember to love. Remember to be the light and always bear good fruit.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
hashtag I'm just saying. God bless you. Bye.
You've been watching hashtag. What is it?
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.